What's up, everyone? It's Flex and Joe, back to review another day in the market. So let's wrap up November and talk about Friday, the 29th. We had a half day today. We closed early at 1:15 p.m. Eastern time. So this will be a pretty quick video. If we start out with NQ, what I've done here is just mark where we closed on Wednesday, where we ended the last New York session, and to the open of today, where we began the next New York session, right? So that's how I marked the gap. What you can see here is just kind of zooming in on this price action from Wednesday. The worldwide markets moved it up a little bit, came back down, gave back almost all of it, moved up again, made a higher high, and then, tried to hold this higher low. It didn't work. It came back down, and again, it tested this low. This low got broken. This low right here, this session low on Wednesday night got broken just a little bit after the open. But ultimately, once that area got broken, in the whether it was if you want to call it a sweep or a fake out breakout, the market began to move upwards, right? So looking at NQ going into the open, kind of a similar setup that I discussed, only we weren't gapping down, we were actually still gapping up. So similar VWAP rejection here. The only concern that I had with it was that we had just had a powerful move up here and then we just gave it all back suddenly. So I thought that was kind of odd, and I wanted to see if these buyers were going to hold or not, right? So, we can zoom in and look at this on the 2-minute chart. And really what you see is alarming, right? If you're a seller, if you're short, because if you look at this, and I know I have the gap marked here. So this gap was filled. We'll delete that for now. I'm going to delete all these lines so you can see much cleaner. This is your pre-market low. So as a seller, you should be concerned that you had this nice sell-off here, and then you put in a doji, right? Showing indecision. And you can't close this doji below this candle's low. Next doji also, again, while it moves lower, it has that fake out breakout look because it closes back up higher as a doji. The next candle can't break this candle's low and ultimately closes green now, right? So overtaking the close of this candle. So within 6 minutes here, this is 100% showing you, long trade, right? Because you've had a sweep of a key level, 2 of them. If I put back this one here, pre-market low, and this Wednesday night session low, and then you have this aggressive move up. Now, I know this move takes you into VWAP. If you wanted to get in and buy into these wicks, those were also fantastic opportunities. Remember, I like to talk about who is stuck, and you see this kind of even a little bit of a gap here. So see those stuck sellers are probably jumping out even for a small loss there, just to get out eagerly because they know what's about to come, right with this pop. So, but you don't get a candle by candle flip until over here. Let me go back to the 10-minute chart. So the candle by candle flip doesn't technically come over here on the 10 until right on this candle, but when we break over, this is Wednesday's high. But reading the 2-minute price action on that chart was really key, especially like I said, after you break the key level, you sweep under 2 key levels, and then you are turning bullish. This 2-minute candle by candle flip was a pretty good opportunity too, right? It shows you pushes, reclaiming the 2-minute 9 and 20 EMA. This was a fantastic entry. Again, I know I said that, but this one too. And this candle by candle flip is right into the EMAs, and it immediately gets overtaken. You could take it on the next one. We're seeing a push up to at least break the London orb high, right? So you'd be looking at 83. So a minimum of 20 points there. So let's look at the VIX. Again, marking from where we closed on Wednesday, not counting this really short session on Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, again. And then where we just push up into this area, we push up into where we closed, and then we start to sell off again, move down decisively. Note that I showed that on NQ, candle by candle was short, but VIX was also candle by candle short. And although it did have that pop up when NQ flipped back short, it ultimately, sold off, if you will, right away. So this maintaining its bearishness, which is bullish for the market, was actually a pretty good indication for another confluence for you to go long. So now that we've had these gaps filled on VIX, what I've been thinking about since Wednesday's close is that we will probably come down here and trail towards filling this gap here at 1328. I would imagine that if we don't do it Monday, I don't think we'll do it Monday. I actually think we're going to do it on Tuesday. And then from there, looking at some older gaps, there's a couple of them. There's these 2 that actually overlap a little bit, but as we go into maybe a Santa rally of sorts, we could see ourselves move through some of these older gaps down below. So that continued bearishness would be bullish for the overall market if that's how it wants to play out. But big move down here. You got a little bit of some fake out divergence. As you know, the market trended pretty well, and this was diverging, but ultimately I think just pulling back, you know, from the golden zone to the other side of the gap to now make its move all the way through. So we'll see if it's going to come on Monday or Tuesday. And then here's ES, right? So same thing, marking that gap, golden zone of that gap here, defended in like pre-market. You can see here we don't actually break the pre-market low. There's no sweeps here. These bulls just hold it from a higher area. They just hold this and they don't let it go below. And then the thing here, even though you don't get a candle by candle flip, you just barely miss it here on ES. They do reclaim VWAP, so that was another indication for going long, right? You know, this VWAP is reclaimed. ES VWAP is usually pretty powerful in terms of notating the strength of the market, right? So above VWAP being bullish, closes again right on the next candle right above VWAP as well. So you have two candles that closed above VWAP if you wanted to wait. This pushes, and you only get a candle by candle flip here at 1220. So from 950 to 1220, you know, it was longs only. So hopefully you guys caught some of that move. If we go down to the 2-minute chart and look at this the same way we did with NQ, you see instantly the first candle is doji, and the next one's closing higher, the next one holds, and then boom, like they just start to take over. So again, this compared to NQ, a little bit more decisive, but starting to give you a hint at which direction we were going at. Notice too that from Wednesday's close to this open, not even a 2-minute candle would close into the gap. So that is showing strength as well. So I'm going to do a separate video on the gaps and like why I mark them and kind of how I mark my levels at the request of a few different people. But stay tuned for that if you have any questions. Otherwise, I think we'll wrap up this short day with a short video, and I appreciate you all for watching. See you in the next one.